This is a space to share and discuss educational topics with guests who have a passion for teaching and an interest in learning. Hi, my name is Gina Gillen, and I want to welcome you to Coffee Talk. In this episode, we're going to talk about business agility, what it is, understanding its benefits, and how to overcome mistakes when implementing it. Today, we have the pleasure of talking to Alexandre Klaser. He's the director of the Digital Transformation and Operation Services line at Thoughtworks Brazil, with more than 25 years of experience in building teams and launching products, leveraging Agile and Lean and design thinking methods to drive success in launching and scaling businesses. Hi, Alexandre. Welcome to our Coffee Talk.
Hi, and thanks for having me. Yeah, just like you said, I used to be a developer actually, and then I started working with other things. But yes, I have over 25 years of experience. I used to have long hair when I was a developer, and then time has passed, and I started shifting to the business side. So yeah, it's always something that I like to talk about, like this connection between things. So please.
Thank you so much, Klaser. So thank you for being here. And let's start a little bit about, let's start talking about business agility. So let's start by the basics. So what is business agility and why it's so important?
Well, business agility is the way I see it's the way you can quickly adapt to market change, and both internally and externally. So the way you are structuring, the way you interact with the market, because right now, and especially right now, you have to be prepared for the uncertain. Things are happening in a very fast pace, and it's the only certainty you have is that you cannot be certain. So it's about adapting quickly to the market change, I guess, be prepared for the uncertain and be resilient, because those things, they are hard to accomplish, and especially right now during the pandemic, I guess we had to just observe some business, they needed to adapt. They didn't have an option. For example, I need to have my workforce working remotely. It's not an option. I just need to adapt, and I was prepared for that. I wasn't planning to become a full remote company, and I just needed to. And some companies, they were more resilient than others, so they kind of thrived more than others. So that's why it's so important to have this thing. It's not about because this is a trendy thing. It's a strong need right now.
I love what you just mentioned about the pandemic, and also it's what I understand is when it comes to business agility, we know that Agile started in the IT department. So the good thing about business agility is being agile at the organization level. But I know business agility has 4 different components. So can you please explain what the different components are?
Yeah, the classic ones are culture, leadership, strategy, and governance. So these are the ones. And you see, if you take the agile principles and those 4 principles, they kind of go hand to hand. So, but the thing I like here is the components about leadership and culture, because for example, this kind of a transformation, they need to be, in terms of sponsorship, they need to be top down. And by that, I mean not that it's imposed, but it needs a strong sponsorship. The leadership needs to believe, and they need to change their mindset. So this gets us to the culture part, So you have to be kind of a servant leader. You have to understand that not only the importance of agility, but you have to embrace it, and you have to advocate for it. And of course, in terms of culture, in terms of the way you do your governance, you have to foster autonomy, mastery, and purpose, just like Dan Pink used to say, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And of course, you have to create trust. This needs to be a safe environment for you to experiment, for you to be flexible. You need to seek faster feedback. So these are the components. This cultural part, I guess, is really an overarching thing, because it's not only about it doing some things some way, is believing in those things as a leader, as someone giving the direction.
I agree 100%. And then how hard, I understand that, again, going back to business agility, it's an organization wide, but, and then sometimes when you want to implement agile, you always, I think that one of the hardest things is trying to change the people mindset, as you mentioned, the culture. So how hard is it to change it into the whole organization?
It's hard. It depends. In my experience, doing these things at Thoughtworks, I guess the cultural part is really difficult. Sometimes people, they just want to have quick and fast solutions, and this is not how it works. Like I said before, you have to understand and embrace the principles more than the practices. So you need to understand them and believe in what they're saying. For example, when you say one of the agile principles, responding to change over following a plan. And this has to be with business agility and embracing the change and the uncertainty. So we as leaders, I guess we're kind of expected to create plans and roadmaps and things like that and just then execute them. So one of the biggest challenges is just to change and challenge our own mindset. I always tell my clients that, there's a book with that name, but what got you here won't get you there. So I always remind them, yes, you are, and you are maybe winning as a business and as a leader, but you have to change and challenge yourself. So the hardest part will be to understand, okay, this is a long journey. It takes time. We need to change ourselves, and we don't know what the end destination is. We have the North Star, and we have to just try new things and see how they're going. So yes, this is the main challenge.
Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about like agility. Every time that you read about business agility, then you say you see agile as well. But what is the difference between business agility and agile?
I guess the main thing would be about scale, okay? Because, agile started as, let's say like this, better ways to develop software. So, okay, we are creating solutions for a given business, and we are trying to do that in more flexible and adaptable ways. And I guess the main thing is trying to kind of adopt this mindset, the same mindset of being flexible and adaptable to a whole business. So it's just taking these principles outside of IT, because IT, okay, they are doing good things, and I usually say this is, the people say doing the right thing right, and so you are doing a good agile shop in terms of software development. You are doing the thing right, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing the right thing. And then you have to have this whole value stream. I mean, all the functional areas within an organization thinking and leaning towards the same direction and at the same pace, and not treating like we are like special people here, but those other people are just like dinosaurs working like in the 90s. So getting the whole thing together, I guess that would be like, it's not only adopting agile principles at scale, but doing this and adopting again the principles and the mindset at a broader scale. So your whole business can react, not only your IT department.
Thank you so much. And now that you talk about departments, one of the things that I like the most, and I saw a presentation about business agility, is like the idea of changing the departments as we usually have them in a company, which is like the IT department, the sales department, and then change it into modularity. I forgot the name of it, where like you have just small teams working towards the whatever the client or the customer needs at that moment, which I thought it was so crazy, because I mean, most of the company, some of the companies, I don't know, they don't do that. They just have the basic like departments, right?
Yes, it is. And this is one of the main challenges, because I guess we were organized that way to maybe to specialize, because if I work with finance or in the legal department, I have to specialize on those things. But as a modern business, uh, the first thing, I need to be customer centric. I need to put my customers at the center, and then everything needs to work to fulfill those goals. So when we say business agility, for example, I have this new idea, I have this new user journey, and I want to create new solutions for this user journey. But if my ability to develop creative solutions is good, but in the value stream, I need to have the sign off from the legal department, and they take like 3 months to sign it off, I'm not being able to react as quickly as I wanted. And I'm losing momentum and losing market opportunities. And this has to do with the way, okay, I understand that people need to specialize and they need to, if you think about org design, okay, you need some levels of management. Okay, business agility is not about having a flat structure. Sometimes it goes hand in hand, but it doesn't need to be. It's not about let's get over with managers and bosses. It's not like this, but I have my reporting structure, but I have value streams. So it's two different ways to see. One is value streams, and the other is the way you report to someone. And again, this is something I love to tell about. This, you are familiar about Cohen's law?
No.
Cohen's law says that usually we design systems based on our own reporting structure, on the structure. So if I have some layers of complexity, my software will have these layers of complexity. And then you take this at a scale in terms of all value streams, things get more complex and your capacity to react gets slowed down. So this is so important. You need to design your value streams and removing any bottleneck and any obstacle in the way. And again, this means that you need to challenge the way you think about work, not about like you manage people. Maybe, yes, but more about how you manage work, because you just have to remove any obstacle to the fast flow of value delivery.
Thank you so much, Klaser. Now, I think you mentioned some of them already, but can you give us some examples of mistakes when implementing business agility and how to overcome them?
In terms of mistakes, I think one of the things we need to do is, because we as traditional businesses, we're too tailorist. So we're thinking always about, when I say value stream, for example, we think about outputs and not outcomes. So I guess the main mistake would be, okay, don't focus on optimizing for output, but for outcomes. Okay, so you have to focus on the principles more than practice, but don't be dogmatic. Again, this is not a recipe. Every company will have their own challenges. So yeah, this is not just like think, okay, I'll execute step 1, 2, and 3, and I'm done. Okay, so number 1, don't focus on output, focus on outcomes. So have this idea of your direction, and then just don't try to play it like a regular game. You have to just adapt.
Thank you.
These are mistakes I always see.
Thank you so much. But now, Klaser, the last one, everything that you have talked us about business agility, what is the number one advice you can provide to our community of lifelong learners who want to implement business agility successfully?
Number one, good question, because this is tough. I'll give you one, and then I'll explain in more detail. The number one will be customer-centric. Like I said before, you have a business, you are here, given you have a purpose, you are here to serve someone. If you know who you are serving, you're trying to create and structure your business around those value streams. So once you are customer-centric and you have your value streams, you can have a clear vision, your clear goals, your North Star, and then clear measures of success. It's really important to have measures of success. They are they need to be business value driven, It's not like, again, we are optimizing for outcomes, not output. So it's not the number of processes that I'm changing, is how much value am I giving to my end customer. So this is the rule number one, I would say. I have to remind people that transformation, this is kind of a buzzword, but yes, it's true. Transformation is not a destination, it's a journey. It takes time. Yes, yeah, and you have to just be patient with that. So no big bang, don't do big bang transformations. Like you said before, just, okay, you try something, you try to learn and adapt and scale it. And with this, you're kind of changing the mindset. People are adopting it more easily. So you need flexibility. And the last thing, I always tell my clients, yes, it's kind of a leap of faith. You have to trust the process. But part of the pain you have to feel is you have to embrace uncertainty. So yeah, you have to trust there is a process. It will hurt, yes, a bit, but it's for the good.
Thank you so much, Alexander. So thank you for everything, but where can we find you if we want to know more about you?
The good thing is about my name is you find few people with my name, so you can just find me on LinkedIn and Twitter and other social media using AL Klaser, just like my last name. So this is my handle for everything.
So we can find you on LinkedIn and Twitter?
Yes. Usually I'm posting some things on LinkedIn because on Twitter, I usually post in Portuguese. So, and if you go to Instagram, you'll see photos of pictures of my cats. It's not about business agility.
Yeah, kitties are always good.
Yes, they are.
Thank you so much, Alexander. And thank you for all the knowledge that you have given us. And I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
We thank those who choose to be here, and we hope this space has been an inspiration to promote the professional growth of our community. If you want to know more about our certifications, visit us at CertiProf.com. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as CertiProf. Let us know in the comments below what other topics you would like us to discuss. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to know about our upcoming episodes. See you in the next episode.